Hey everybody, Michael here. Hope you're all well. Welcome back to the channel. And this video wasn't one that I really planned on doing. These are just products that I've had in my collection for a little while. And since I've been featuring a lot more pre-stylers on the channel, I thought I might as well give this one a spin as well as revisit another product that we looked at a while ago. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some products from Shehvoo. We are going to be looking at their Ocean Spray, and we're going to revisit the Ocean Clay because it has been a little while. And the Ocean Spray, of course, is meant to pair with the Ocean Clay or any other post-styler product that you might want to use. I'm going to start by looking though at the Ocean Spray on its own, kind of how it works as a pre-styler, then we'll see how it interacts with the Ocean Clay, and lastly we will revisit the Ocean Clay used on its own as well, just because why not? So Shehvoo, with their Ocean Spray, they're trying to take sort of a unique approach to the sea salt spray, one that is meant to be actively used as a pre-styler, offering things like heat protectant, and it also has quite a bit of sea salt. And for me, with my hair being as wavy as it is, when I use a pre-styler, the goal is to kind of control my waves, and typically sea salt sprays activate the waves more and make them even harder to tame for me personally. So this is a 4-ounce bottle here, and on my bottle they actually don't have the ingredients anywhere on it. I think they redid the packaging at some point to get rid of the ingredients on the bottle itself, but I did find on their website they have the ingredients listed on the bottle here, and if you look, it says water and then sea salt. So there is a lot of sea salt in this product, which for me would normally be kind of concerning, because for me typically a lot of sea salt heavy products don't fare well with my hair as wavy as it is. But then when you notice there are some other ingredients there, like the sunflower oil, that I think will kind of take the edge off of some of the grit from the sea salt. But yeah, so let's get into using it. So this is a no hold, no shine, volume and texture product. It's just really meant to provide volume and texture to enhance any other sort of post-styler product that you might want to add afterwards, or if you just want to use it on its own. So getting into using the sea salt spray, I'm basically going to use it as I would any other sea salt spray. I spray it liberally into damp hair, and then I begin blow drying. And what I notice is there really is no hold to this product. It is a pretty true sea salt spray in that regard. If there is any hold, it is very, very light and not really noticeable. But what I do notice is this product gives you a lot of volume and some pretty nice fine texture, and it's not really like a super texturizing product, but there is some texture there. It enhances at least what your hair naturally has as far as texture goes. And overall, the slight grit and the tack of the sea salt does help keep the hair controlled without offering any really present hold. And like I said, typically sometimes sea salt products can be a bit too sticky or tacky for me. This one though actually happens to be pretty smooth. So yeah, overall I was really pleasantly surprised by the Ocean Spray. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult for me to use compared to some other products that I've tried in the past, but fortunately though, it is a pretty gentle sea salt spray, I would say. It gives you the volume and the texture that you want without necessarily the grit or sometimes the stickiness or tack that some sea salt sprays offer. And I also like pairing it with the Ocean Clay. So if you don't remember, the Ocean Clay is a firm hold, sort of low to natural shine clay. It's one of those traditional, more waxy, heavy clay sort of products. And I remember though that a lot of people had some issues with Ocean Clay when it first came out. And that's because a lot of people felt that the product was a bit too conditioning, which could weigh their hair down, or some people thought that the product felt kind of greasy for them. For me personally, I never had that issue, but because you get such a good foundation with the Ocean Spray, you don't really need to use too much of the Ocean Clay afterwards. For me, I'm just going to use 1 scoop on top of the Ocean Spray. And what I found when I pair the Ocean Clay with Ocean Spray is that the clay feels a lot drier, it gives a nicer texture, and it actually looks more matte than used without Ocean Spray. I guess that sea salt kind of helps keep the product from being too hydrating or conditioning in the hair, or for some people maybe too greasy. I think it allows you to use a lot less product than you would normally without something like a pre-styler. And I actually really like the results when you pair the two together. My hair is a little bit wavy, but it's still really nicely controlled. It plays to the waves really nicely, and the Ocean Clay, the ingredients there really help relax my waves a bit, which makes them a bit easier to control, and it gives me a really nice looking texture as well. Now, pairing these two products together in my hair, it doesn't feel dry, it doesn't feel greasy. It feels like there is product there, but it feels pretty smooth and it's very easy to run your fingers through, and I actually found that it holds up pretty well also. So it does keep the volume for longer. It also keeps a bit of a drier finish as well, so you don't really have to worry about that, and it gives you that really nice texture, and it gives you a bit more of that structure that you might want from a more traditional clay product without, like I said, being a bit too brutal like some other heavy clays can be. So for me, I guess I would say, you combine these two together, they're very gentle when interacting with each other, but also effective, because you do get a pretty nice performance out of both of them used together. I would say though, because you're not using a lot of clay, the clay doesn't really feel very firm. To me, it feels more like a pretty solid medium when you use it this way, but because it's not as present in the hair and it's a lot lighter in weight when you use it this way and a bit drier, you get the most out of that medium hold. Now, like I said, we're going to revisit the Ocean Clay used on its own as well, just because it's been a while, and I actually don't hate this product, but I think it's way better when you pair it with Ocean Spray versus using it on its own. So yeah, this is supposed to be a firm hold, sort of low to natural shine product, supposed to be super healthy for your hair at the same time, and it's a take on one of those more traditional waxier, heavier clay products. I do like the new packaging. I definitely think it's a step up from the original. As you see, it's more that minimalist black and white. It looks a bit more like a professional salon product. And then here you have just some information about the product. And then all the way around here are all the ingredients. Lots of ingredients, but none of them are really questionable to me or anything like that. And then also too, it is a 2.4 ounce container in case you care about things like that. Taking the lid off on the inside, you see a pretty traditional sort of earthy kind of tan looking clay product. And the scent is that same awesome, I think it's mango and guava scent or pineapple and guava. Either way, it's a nice fruity scent that I think makes it perfect for using it in the summertime. Definitely a great product to pair with something like a sea salt spray for more of that fresh off the beach look, because I think the scent kind of matches that vibe sort of. But yeah, I like the scent. It's unique, you know, it's just on the fruitier side. And I forgot to mention earlier in the video that the Ocean Spray also has a coconut scent, so it pairs really nicely with the Ocean Clay scent. So if you want that sort of nice fruitier, sort of summery type of a scent profile, these two go really, really well together. All right, so now getting into using Ocean Clay by itself. Scooping it out is a bit of a thicker product, but it's not the thickest heavy clay that we've seen before. And then breaking it down, it breaks down pretty smoothly and easily. And then I'm going to apply 2 small dime-sized scoops into towel-dried hair. And yes, there is a little bit of a grip because it is still a heavy clay product, but it, like I said, it applies pretty easily regardless compared to a lot of other products like these. And then styling. Using Ocean Clay on its own, it is a bit slicker because it doesn't have that dryness from the sea salt of Ocean Spray. And for me, it still kind of feels like somewhere between a medium and a firm hold. But because it does kind of have that slicker characteristic to it, it doesn't really allow you to get the most out of a firm hold. It's definitely stronger than a medium, but it's not quite something I would consider a firm. Regardless, whatever hold that you're able to get out of it, the hold remains pretty much all day long. And like I said, it looks like there's product in your hair all day, but still though, I wouldn't say that it really gets much shinier throughout the day. If anything, it does look a little bit cleaner as the day goes on. And like I said, some people have complained that this product is a bit greasy. I could see that using it on its own. It does feel a bit slicker, a bit more hydrating. It does have a lot of conditioning ingredients in it. And sometimes there can be such a thing as too many conditioning ingredients, which can weigh the hair down sometimes, make it a little too soft to endure all day. And I could see that for some people. With me, I don't really have that issue as much. You definitely need to restyle throughout the day, and your hair does kind of loosen up throughout the day to a pretty noticeable degree. But you can restyle it all day because it never hardens or dries up or anything, of course. And I would say probably the biggest knock against it in terms of endurance is that it does lose volume pretty steadily throughout the day. But as far as hold goes and all that, you can still restyle it. The hold is pretty available, but it is closer to a medium for me than it is to a firm hold. And then washing it out at the end of the day, I mean, you do need some shampoo, but again, compared to some other waxier, heavier clay products, this one is not that difficult to wash out for me. Using even like my lightest shampoo that I have, it washes out pretty easily nonetheless. So final verdict, here we are. Like I said, I never really planned on reviewing these products, let alone revisiting Ocean Clay. I guess we'll start with Ocean Spray. Ocean Spray surprised me a lot. Like I said, I thought it was going to be too sea salty for my hair. I thought it was going to give me some problems with my hair as wavy as it is. Fortunately though, that wasn't the case. I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised. It's not as tacky as a lot of other sea salt sprays that I've used in the past, especially compared to a lot of like the mass market sea salt sprays. It's a lot gentler in that regard, and it doesn't really have much of a present hold. It has more of a light control with a lot of volume and some nice texture. Gives your hair a nice sort of like naturally looking matte finish. Overall, very decent pre-styler for those of you that just want volume and texture out of a pre-styler and not really anything to do with hold. And getting onto our little revisit of Ocean Clay here, I'm not really as pleased with it using it on its own as I originally was. And back then I didn't really use too many heavy clay products like these. So for me though, I think it's okay. I mean, if you definitely want something that is more of like a low shine clay, maybe something not as brutally waxy as some of the other heavy clays out there, you want something a little bit gentler or something that kind of straddles the line between a clay and a pomade, this is one to definitely take a look at. That is, of course, if you want to use it on its own. I think this product actually works best when paired with a sort of sea salt spray like Ocean Spray or any other sort of sea salt spray sort of pre-styler out there. Because like I said, this one can be a bit too hydrating or conditioning or greasy or however you want to put it. It sometimes can be a little bit too heavy or a bit too present or slick on its own. But using something like Ocean Spray kind of helps take that edge off and makes this product a bit more effective in my opinion. So I would say that using it with a pre-styler, you definitely get a lot more out of it. So if you want something that feels really conditioning and sort of hydrating in the hair, but kind of has some aspects of a clay, like some nice sort of rough looking texture, you can get that with Ocean Clay, but you do get the most out of it paired with something a bit drier. So I mean, I like it if I want something kind of in between a clay or a pomade, or if I'm going to like go to a formal event and I want my hair to look like I have some product in it, but maybe I don't want it to be as slick as a pomade. Using something like ocean clay on its own would be definitely worth looking into. But like I said, it really works the best when paired with something like this. And with that said, this concludes our little review here of these products by Shehvoo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, especially because I didn't really plan to do this video. It's just kind of one that I decided to film spontaneously. Thank you so much though for tuning in nonetheless, and please like and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out, and make sure that you check the description in the video as well. Down in the description I have a lot of helpful resources for all of you, like a written review for these products as well as a link where you can find them, and I will be comparing the ocean clay to some other products on the market now that it's been a while and I've tried a lot more other clay products, so hopefully this will give you an even better idea of how this one might stack up against some others in your collection. So yeah, though, I gotta go get this video edited because I have a lot of videos I've been filming lately, so I definitely want to get this one up on the channel as soon as possible for all of you. So you all have a good one, and I will see you all soon with another video.